If there is one constant in life, it's that prices go up at the Disney theme parks. We'll be talking about that. Walt Disney World has now come clean about exactly how much it has been missing out on in terms of crowd capacity in the last year. And a petition to fire Disney CEO Bob Chapek gains a heck of a lot of steam. That, so much more. It's October 30th, 2021. Did you know that Kingdom Report Live, well, it starts right now?
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Kicking things off like we always do with that live look outside at the Disneyland Resort. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Monsters After Dark this time of year, especially during that Oogie Boogie Bash. Hey everybody, happy Halloween to you. Wade for the Kingdom Report, back at it once again, coming to you from the Warner Brothers Studios Media District here in beautiful Burbank, California. Did you know that Halloween time, well, it has seeped in. It is here. I feel it in my blood. Hope you're not afraid, because I'm not. Yeah, don't be spooked. No time for that. So great that you could be a part of today's broadcast. So wonderful that you could tune in. Whether you are watching live and a part of the discussion in our live chat on our YouTube page, YouTube The Kingdom Report is where you need to be, or on Facebook Live, we appreciate that as well. Or if you are listening or watching after the fact on demand, that means so much too. Make sure that you are not only subscribe to the Kingdom Report on YouTube, but you are also hitting that like button. That like button means an awful lot to us. It also encourages more people to see what's going on in this Halloween party. And let me tell you, the more the merrier. It's a monster mash. I will say it. A monster mash is what it is. And we always like to reward people that tune into this broadcast, especially in the first few days that it is available. So after this show, after the live video posts, you can leave a comment underneath this video on our YouTube channel. It has to be on the YouTube channel, okay? So the Kingdom Report on YouTube. You can leave the comment underneath this video, Disney World Party. That's right. Disney World Party is the phrase that pays this week. Disney World Party is what you will leave underneath this very video in order to be entered to win yourself exclusive 50th anniversary Walt Disney World merchandise. This week we are giving away a limited edition 50th anniversary Disney World pin. The most magical celebration on earth can be sent to you if you are the one selected to win yourself your very own Disney World limited edition 50th anniversary pin. Disney World Party is the phrase that pays. That is what you leave in the comment section underneath this video on our YouTube channel. And we do want to say a special congratulations to Tiffany from New Orleans, Louisiana. Congratulations. She was last week's winner, chosen at random to win herself a Walt Disney World 50th anniversary ball cap. You never know. You could be the one that wins. Just leave the comment between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's right, Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time is when you have the opportunity to enter yourself to potentially win your very own Walt Disney World merchandise. And in addition to that, if you are the winner, we will reach out to you and let you know that you have, in fact, been selected at random to win that 50th anniversary limited edition pin. All right, so many great stories to talk about today, so much to get to. Before we do it, though, there are some terrifying and killer individuals here with me to cover all the stories and bring that trusted theme park perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Killer Katrina Manzone, terrifying Tyler Crouch. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Hello.
Ooh, spooky.
Was that a black cat?
times.
What was that? Did you see that?
Could be.
Is that a witch?
I think you're seeing things.
What's that? It's that time of year. I don't know where to look. I don't know what to think anymore.
There's a ceiling in here. How would a witch be flying over?
She flew right through. I don't know.
Okay,
You're
all right.
you're clearly not as tuned in as I am to the other side. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you hear?
it's my
There's
fault.
knocking now. What the?
Oh, no.
What is that?
Spooky.
What
Oh my gosh.
is that? The other side?
All right, I'm out of here.
Oh,
See you later.
not sure how to feel. That's for sure. But glad to have you both with us here on this Halloween weekend. No doubt, within the next 24 to 36 hours, we will also be experiencing Christmas explosion at the Disney theme parks from coast to coast.
And at our house too.
Oh, well, and that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, she's like already buying stuff on
already
Amazon,
went on
last
Amazon
night.
last
We
night.
gotta get ready.
We need
It's
pillows.
almost November
we need
1st.
decorations. It's like one's coming on November 5th. I'm like, well, Christmas is already over. Like, it's coming on the 5th. Just forget it.
I was going to say, technically, you're behind right now.
I am.
Yeah.
I know. Like, I mean, look at the castle. It already has snow on it.
Hit the gas.
Should have done it last week.
My God. They
Christmas
know.
lights about like around the house and everything. Who cares about Halloween?
Kick it into high
decorations?
gear.
Don't say so many hurtful things to me. Halloween decorations.
And
are
you know
awesome.
who the Grinch is in this relationship. Let me tell you. Doesn't like that Christmas too much. You can tell. More of
I
a
love
Halloween
Christmas,
fan.
but I don't hate on. Here's the thing. She's hating on Halloween. Like,
Impossible. Nobody can hate on
I have love in my heart for both of them.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
But like December 1st, then he starts getting into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're a traditional Christmas
traditionalist,
fan.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna start listening to Christmas music
Yes,
already. I already started listening to Christmas music when I made cinnamon rolls like a couple days ago. I'm like, you know what? Cinnamon, Christmas, Christmas music.
It's one of the same.
It's perfect.
Cue Mariah Carey. There we go. That's all it takes. Stop this madness. I think it's time for Disneyland news. Disneyland news time. Taking a look at all of the headlines coming out of the West Coast Disney theme parks, the Disneyland Resort, and it is all about whether or not you have heard that ticket prices up, parking up. If there's one constant in the world, it is that Disney theme park prices, they do in fact go up. From ibtimes.com, prices are going up at Disneyland. The original theme park resort announced earlier this week that one-day admission prices would be rising between $5 and $10 a piece in March. Only the cheapest tier, a $104 ticket available only during the slowest days, is sticking to its current pricing. The resort also introduced a new higher-priced tier for peak travel periods, setting visitors back $164 for a one-day, one-park visit, or $224 if they wish to hit Disneyland and California Adventure on the same day. Multi-day tickets are also naturally getting more expensive. It's not just more pain at the turnstile. Parking at Disneyland to treat your car to a day at the theme park resort just increased from $25 to $30. Ticket price increases are nothing new at Disneyland and its larger sister resort, Disney World in Florida. It's rare to see a year in which ticket prices don't go up. Disneyland's last pricing uptick took place in February of last year, a couple of weeks before the parks would go on to close for the pandemic. Since the increase doesn't kick in until early next year, there won't be any increase for one-day visitors outside of parking in 2021. Then again, Disneyland theme parks were shuttered for more than a year, and Disneyland fans are understandably unhappy about the new prices, but we assume most of them will be back, as traditionally happens every time prices do go up. You hear the screaming, the yelling, the rage of the fan community, and then unfortunately, they turn around and walk right back in. So what is the breaking point? Because I think that's really what the conversation's about now. When does it become too much? When does it become enough for Disney theme park fans? Certainly over the course of the last year, or should we say 6 to 8 months since Disneyland has reopened the theme parks, we've seen capacity grow as they've let more people in, and in recent weeks have been seeing crowds like we haven't seen in a very long time. So, will these price increases truly matter in the end? Tyler, it's a tale as old as time. Prices go up, people complain, and then they do tend to return. Where do you think the breaking point is for people? Because I keep hearing it, it's too much for me, but they keep setting record profits and seeing record attendance. This, of course, going beforehand, before the pandemic shut everything down. Granted, we're in a new era where a lot of people aren't working and a lot of people don't necessarily have jobs to pay for extra special things, but now we are venturing into this sort of new era, a Chapek run era, if you will, a Josh Tomorrow run era, and now I'm wondering, are we going to see that hard right turn at any point?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I feel like everybody obviously has their own breaking point, so it's tough to say like when the actual breaking point is going to be, because I still feel like people are going to be showing up no matter, like, there's a lot of people in this world, right? And like there are already a lot of people, I guarantee it, that have said like, this is too much for me and I won't be going anymore. I'll be taking my money to Knott's or Universal Studios or something, just because the prices are so much better, you know, perceivably anyway. And it's, so a lot of people I think have already cashed out, but it's just going to be different for everybody. And like you said, we're used to the prices going up every year, but just especially right now, it felt extra gross to me because it's like they're not even back in full swing yet. It's like they can't even offer the full product yet that they were offering before the closure, and they're already starting to charge more money. It's like, guys, you know, I can understand tickets going up if you're running on all cylinders. Like, that makes sense to me, but that's the part that I don't like. But here we are. This is what they do, and I don't know if there's ever going to be a breaking point, but definitely certain people have already called it quits, but then other people just come and fill in those shoes, I feel like. So it's tough to say.
Yeah, I've been watching our comment sections, and certainly ran with this story earlier this week on our live Disney News Talk program, where we discussed this at length and gave all of our viewers an opportunity to share their perspective. People always fired up when it comes to the topic, so I was willing and ready to expect that, willing to accept it. But what we were hearing a lot of from viewers is that when it comes down to it, a lot of frustration regarding the idea that, to your point, Tyler, they're not even offering what they used to offer at this point. There's still a lot of things out of commission, and how do you justify raising prices on things that you didn't even, you're not even getting like you used to get, and prices go up. And Katrina, $30 for parking now. Parking is an icing on the cake sort of fee that they can toy with as they see fit. That to me, I mean, I stopped taking a car a long time ago to Disneyland because I refuse to pay the parking prices. They're ridiculous. Add on to that for the last 6 months, they've been requiring you to walk from the parking garage up to the main entrance of Disneyland too. Fortunately, the tram's coming back in early 2022, so we learned that this week also.
What?
But big prices, things kicking up, increasing, $30 for parking. Where does it end?
Never will.
Never will.
It never. And then on top of that too is they raised the resort parking fee
On top of it.
when you park at the hotels. Like, it used to be like $25, which was like, manageable when you're staying there, but now it's $40 to park, and you park yourself. This isn't even for valet. I think valet was like, I forgot how much that increased. It was like 33 and now it's like 50 or something.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a lot. And that's, if you're staying they want people to stay for 3 days, 4 days. I mean, that's a lot of money to park your car that you're not even going to be using for the majority. It's not like you're at Disney World where they can sneak in the prices a little bit, and they can, because it's included in your resort fee technically. And then you can take your car and then park it wherever you want at at the 4 theme parks for free technically, but it's not. It's in your resort fee. But for Disneyland, it's so short that you can't. You just walk your butt over there and you're at the park. So for me, $40 is a lot of money to park, and then it's like 25 was like manageable, but now it's just like outrageous. And then the $30, it's like for normal general parking is a lot, and like right now when the trams aren't even working yet. And
It was a bold move.
And that, I can imagine them doing it like at the beginning of the year when the trams start.
Yeah.
I could see this and I could swallow it and be like, yeah, okay, $30, trams starting again, whatever. But now I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they're increasing capacity too. So just the walk alone from the parking garage to the park is like insane. Like I'm a fast walker, so there's a lot of like slower walking people and they just kind of gather, so I have to walk. So for me it seems like eternity walking from A to B. And so I have to like kind of like weave in and out. I'm like, I'll see you later, Tyler, you fit wherever you need to fit. We'll meet up at the gate, don't worry. Like,
don't act like you separate from me. We go at the same speed. How dare you?
I know we do, but it's like we weave in and out of people just to kind of get to A to B faster. But now watch, they're gonna be like, when the trams start, I'm telling you, they might either hike up the prices again for parking or they're going to start charging for trams. I don't know. Like, they're so greedy right now. Like, anything is possible. But, like, I feel like they should have offered, like, some kind of discount ordering your parking online. Like, pre-doing it to, like, limit. Because before, like, to get into the parking garage, that line used to be so long because they didn't offer to pre-book your or, like, to prepay for your parking. But I feel like they should offer like a little discount if you prepay for your parking. So it's like easy peasy. You scan it and then it's like, 20% off or something. But they don't offer discounts. What am I talking about? It's crazy.
Please. Yeah, the hotels of the Disneyland Resort, you're already paying a small fortune to stay at a Disney Resort hotel. And then on top of that, to just have this over-the-top pricing structure for parking and valet now. I've referenced it several times in our Disneyland in-park updates on our YouTube channel recently. If you're staying at, say, like Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, $400 to $600 a night.
Not worth it.
There's no food and beverage being offered in that hotel right now. They say if you are hungry, mobile order from downtown Disney. That is their solution right now. PCH Grill is closed.
I don't even think they're offering delivery, right? They used to offer, like, some downtown Disney restaurants used to deliver to the restaurants. They would only have a QR code, like, within the hotel.
They deliver to the hotels.
And they deliver to the hotel. I don't know if they're still doing that.
I mean, the poster is still up saying mobile order, so it doesn't say it'll be delivered. But at any rate, things are still closed. That hotel is offering nothing at the moment. You're paying $400 to $600. And then on top of that, your parking fees have just gone up. Congratulations. I hope you're happy staying there. And good luck on the hike in because you're staying all the way over on Disneyland Drive.
It's not like they're limited on parking spaces. Like I can imagine like them like getting hurt on the parking spots and stuff. But Disneyland has tons of parking available. And I don't know what they're doing to the under garage area because I can't imagine it being full. And then Grand Californian, you have to park across the street anyway, and then hike your butt over. So I'm paying $40 to park across the street and then walk over and then pay $1,000 for a room.
And don't get mugged on those mean streets of Anaheim. No, we don't want that. But not to worry, Katrina, because as uproarious as the Disney fan community was this week over ticket prices and parking prices going up, we can all rest easy because the Main Street Electrical Parade might just be on its way back. Can you believe it? I can't. Cron.com reports that the Main Street Electrical Parade appears to be coming back to the park soon. The iconic and much beloved parade started at Disneyland in 1972, ran through 1996, and features what's believed to be approximately 500,000 light bulbs on its floats, which depict iconic scenes from the movies like Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland. According to DisneyBlogAllers.net, when it was retired, the parade had been performed almost 3,600 times for more than 75 million guests. Disney hinted at the parade's return on TikTok this past week via a video of a sparkling snail, one of the electrical parade floats, headed towards a Disneyland truck, followed by the message, "To be continued." Fan reception on social media has been positive, but many have been wondering whether it's a move designed to offer up a little bit of goodwill towards the company in the midst of such a prolonged bad news cycle, including ongoing lawsuits in which 25,000 cast members are suing Disney for a living wage in addition to everything else. There are no guarantees in life, Madness Kingdom tweeted, but Disney trotting out the Main Street Electrical Parade when they're having some sort of trouble at the California parks is one of them, end quote. The move wouldn't be without precedent. Disneyland has a history of using this particular parade to smooth over rough patches at the park. When the park retired the parade in 1996, the company used the idea that it was the last chance to see it to create a huge boost in attendance and profits. Then in 2001, It brought the then retired parade to California Adventure to combat lackluster attendance numbers. There, it became Disney's Electrical Parade, since California Adventure doesn't have a main street. Disney California Adventure opened in February 2001, and Disneyland history blog Yesterland wrote, "When expected attendance levels failed to materialize, the park had to take quick action." It's not surprising that their first big initiative involved the Main Street Electrical Parade. So it's back, or so we think, and no doubt it's returning based on Disney's TikTok is very clear that's the direction that they're going. It was just with us in 2017 for a limited run. This poor thing never will die. And as much as I love the nostalgia and as much as I love what it has done over the course of time and the enchantment that it's brought, we've also seen newer things come along since then that we have not been allowed to see again. Paint the Night, for goodness sakes. The 60th anniversary modernized electrical parade for the Disneyland Resort, which after its run, sort of sailed away also. And to not have Paint the Night back in any sort of capacity really stings because it is spectacular. On top of that, you also have the parade that only, I believe, had like 2 weeks to run before the pandemic shut life down as we know it. Magic Happens. Where is that parade? That thing just started and nobody got a chance to see it. But you're going to bring back the electrical parade. It just seems like an odd move all of a sudden to be like, oh, and don't you worry, the electrical parade's coming back. That'll stop all the evil and angry press. You geared up to see the electrical parade, Katrina?
I am, but it's really funny because again, like it's what Disney does, right? Good job, PR. You did a really good job. So you like kind of do this like butt sandwich, and they're like, oh, you got bad news, but you're getting the electrical parade back. And the only reason why they're doing the electrical parade is, in my mind, is because they just hiked up the prices. And the electrical parade is kind of like a nostalgia thing, right? And so they want old money to come back to go see the parade and bring their family to create new memories and that kind of stuff. Because I still remember when the parade came back, not 2017, but the time before that. Was it 2015? 2016?
I feel like it's back so often.
I don't know.
That,
It came back
I
like
don't
2
know.
times. So that one time that it came back, because that was a really fun night, because it just rained. And so they delayed the parade. So like the ground was like shimmering. And so the lights came. And so when they came out, it was
Reflective.
gorgeous. It was
Beautiful,
really pretty.
yeah.
But this lady next to me lost her mind and just started bawling. And she couldn't even say her words, but she was trying to say welcome back. And that's what Disney wants. They don't want to do Magic Happens because that's like a new parade. They want like nostalgia parade to make everybody forget and go back into the old times when it was like old Disney. And then like, which is kind of, I was like, ugh,
It's not so bad.
I like it. Like,
remember the good times?
It's like, hey, I remember when I was a kid, I loved it. Like, I mean, again, like I love the parade, but I want to see Magic Happens because I haven't seen it yet because I was gone saving children in Italy, with Spider-Man. So hey, listen,
Hell of a story.
Go back into the shows, you'll figure it out. But I never got to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
But is it gonna happen? Magic apparently doesn't happen. Like I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just a shame.
I really like Electrical Parade. I think it's actually one of my favorite parade. Like, no, not even one of my favorite. It is probably my favorite parade, period. Like, so I'm kind of stoked it's coming back. And I do like Paint the Night as well, but I know that they're not going to like scrap that thing anytime soon. So I know I have my whole life to see it. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe I have my whole life to see Electrical Parade
Nostalgia.
too, right? But
that's what he's living off, and that's what Disney wants is nostalgia.
I don't
They
even
got
think,
you, Tyler.
I know, but I don't even think they want. I don't even think they're going for like old money or anything necessarily. I think they're just going for any kind of money. Like, and I think they
But
know.
they could bring back like any other parade.
Well, I was gonna say though is I think they know that Electrical Parade is the parade that brings the most people back. They wouldn't do it over and over again if they didn't have it down on numbers somewhere that like, oh, the nights we bring Electrical Parade back are the nights that we get a lot of people coming to the parks. And as much as we all love Paint the Night, and I feel like a lot of Disney enthusiasts love Paint the Night, I feel like Electrical Parade spans more of that generalized gap than Paint the Night even does. And so I mean, even on like my YouTube channel, every time they bring the Electrical Parade back, I get huge boosts on my electrical parade videos, and they are like the top performing videos on my channel. Like, you know, hundreds of thousands of people have watched it. So it's just like, I get stoked when it comes back, because then I start making more money. and like then also on top of that, it's like it that just is a reminder that like I'm not the only one. Everybody loves this parade. So Disney knows that it makes money, so they're gonna bring it back.
And I wonder if they had this TikTok video in the can, because you know they haven't announced any other details as to when. It's just a to be continued, and you can expect it at some point. I wonder if this was in the can at the ready for a moment when there was particularly bad news or big uproars or fan communities, you know, infighting for the sake of whatever they've recently put out. I wonder if they were holding on to this to be like, and drop this bomb on the news cycle because it'll make it all go away.
Marketing timeline for PR, like they have this like whole wall with like all these like little lines ready to go. Being,
Deploy.
Like, ready, go. Okay, so if this happens, follow this line, and if this happens, follow that line, and just get rid of this and do this. And it's just like I could see it.
Call in the electrical parade.
Like we know we're gonna hike prices, so we have like 3 options. Choose one.
Might be onto something there. In their war room, no doubt about it. Well, in other news, something else that kind of rattled the cages of Disneyland regulars this week is the sellout of the Dream Key. The Magic Key, the top-tier Magic Key, the new annual pass holder program, has sold out of its top-tier no blockout key. The Orange County Register reports that Disneyland has sold out of the top-priced Magic Key after just 2 months, as complaints from angry pass holders continue to echo throughout social media about the widespread lack of reservations available for the $1,400 pass with no blockout dates. The Dream Key has proven very popular and is currently sold out, with the other Magic Keys, the Believe Key, Enchant Key, and Imagine Key, remaining on sale at this time, according to Disneyland. Disneyland will continue to monitor the Believe Key, Enchant Key, and Imagine Key and make adjustments as needed to deliver a great guest experience, according to Disneyland officials. All Disneyland key holders who purchased a Magic Key, including current Dream Key holders, will continue to have access to pass holders' benefits like the Magic Key Terrace, specialty merchandise, select discounts, and upcoming Magic Key Month. The new Magic Key annual passes went on sale August 25th, with Disneyland offering a free swag box for new key holders who purchase a pass during the first 66 days in honor of the park's 66th anniversary. The $1,400 Dream Key sold out before reaching the end of the 66-day initial sales drive. So in one instance, great for business, clearly. It worked out for them. We don't know how many. Disney doesn't ever share numbers when it comes to capacity, when it comes to ticket sales, anything like that. We don't know how many Dream Keys that they ended up selling, but they're now sold out. I don't know how long that lasts. I don't know how long that is going to be a problem. But yes, Tyler, when it came down to it, there were a lot of complaints that this top-tier key that didn't have blockouts couldn't even get reservations half the time because everything was blocked out due to capacity restrictions.
Yeah, that was like the number one thing that we were experiencing, and people on Twitter, is just that, yeah, like even just like before it even became October, like all the Saturdays were gone, like for all of October, which is just, when you're paying $1,400 for a ticket, that's just kind of inexcusable to have so many days blocked out. So honestly, at this point, I'm kind of glad that they've stopped selling the Dream Key, because obviously it's just like, for whatever their capacity is in their head, it's too low for how many people were able to get in. So, and then the annoying thing too was like, some days then it would just like, you would try and plan ahead and do the right thing and you would miss it. And then some days you would like wake up and that's the day you were going to go to Disney, but you miss it. And then you go on Twitter and then all of a sudden people are like, oh my gosh, Saturday opened up, everybody get on there. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, was it closed or was it open or what's happening? Because, you know, having it open up the morning of, it's like nice for some people, but for the people who want to plan ahead and stuff, which is what you're supposed to do, it's like, it's really a downside. It's really a huge bummer too. So I'm glad they stopped selling them, because obviously they're getting to that point where there's too many people again. So
You think this is going to impact capacity in a good way, Katrina?
No. I mean, I feel like there's something in the background that we don't see, and there's a part of me that's just like, did they just stop the selling of this to create an in-demand product and make everybody else buy like the lower keys right now because the Dream Key was the highest seller, so they decided to stop it and then make everybody else buy the other ones to make them pay for more parking, because everybody else was like, oh, might as well just upgrade to the Dream Key because it has free parking, because the other ones, it's either you get half off parking or you have to pay for parking. And then maybe you have to buy these other ones and just for them to like.
But so you think there's sinister motives here, huh?
There's got to be something. I can't imagine them just being like, oh, because it was so popular, we ran out of the Dream Key. Like, they had problems with capacity already, like every single weekend with the Dream Key, and I get it. But then they magically, again, like you said, they magically opened up these spots for everybody, like 2 days before, a day before. And then it's just, I get it. There's like probably a lot of people, but I think that's ridiculous when you have a reservation and you're trying to plan ahead, and then you have to drop that reservation the night before because you're like, well, I'm not going to get a reservation. And then all of a sudden you wake up that morning and you're like, I could have done my dining reservation that I held on to because I could have possibly got a reservation to get in the park. But I don't know. There's always something in the back of my mind being like, I think too many people bought the Dream Key and they're trying to make everybody else buy the other keys and then just open up the Dream Key again, but hike up the price to like $1,800 because of demand.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
They're sinister. I'll give them that, but I don't know if they're that mean. But I like, if they have people coming in their parks, they're making money. So to get people to buy tickets that let them in less,
I mean, they just
makes them less money. I feel like,
they just
even
raised
if
up
they
the
are
price, though, for regular day tickets. So why wouldn't they hike up the price for the most popular demand annual pass?
Oh no, they probably will. No, I think they will.
Introductory price.
Yeah, right.
Oh, they definitely will raise the price of all the keys, like no doubt about it. But I don't think they're canceling the Dream Key right now just to raise the price later. Like, that's just losing money, because even if they did make money on that $40, parking, or $30 parking pass, it's like that would stop a lot of people from coming to the park in general, which they would spend more than $30 at, most likely. So
maybe, or you would buy like the like the one that's the highest right now. What is the Dream?
Believe.
Believe.
Yep.
So if you buy the Believe, because that's the highest one, you get half off parking. And then like let's say next month or in the beginning of the year, they go, oh, the Dream Key is back. You can upgrade to your to the Dream Key from this one, and they jack up the price to like $1,800. You still have to, like, they're gonna do it because there's no blockout dates and stuff, and then everybody wants the free parking, so then they'll just like pay the extra money. That's just me. I'm a very pessimistic person, and that's why I always feel like there's always something in the back of Disney's mind that what they're gonna do is like, it didn't sell out because of they sold all the tickets. Like they just want the cash.
Entirely possible.
I really do think that they are.
He's
trying
very positive, and he's like, yeah, Disney.
I think that they're struggling, and they're realizing it, and they're not doing it out of like the kindness of their hearts. They're just saying like we cannot make people angry again by selling them a $1,400 thing and then not having them be able to get in on a weekend.
Tell them that they have the ability to do something and then take that ability away from them because we're dealing with restrictions right now, and now we're getting scorched earth because of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey,
I
guarantee Katrina's right on one front. That price will go up, likely the next time that they roll out that highest tiered key. And you let us know, are you excited about the electrical parade returning to Disneyland at some point in the near future? Or would you rather see something like Magic Happens return, or perhaps Paint the Night? Let us know in the comment section. As always, we appreciate your perspective. All right, you stick around. Plenty more Kane Report Live next.
Do you know everything the ghost host is going to say before he says it? Are you ready to thank the Venetians each time you board Spaceship Earth? Can you recite Walt's opening day dedication speech? Then join the Kingdom team today, the influential legacy fan community featuring exclusive merchandise that will alert all who've come to this happy place that you are more than just another guest. You are a trusted theme park fan. Don't miss out. Join the Kingdom team right now by visiting the homepage at kingdomreportlive.com. That's kingdomreportlive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Walt Disney World News Time, covering all the latest stories coming out of the East Coast Florida theme parks. Orlando is what we call it, and yes, there is plenty to get to today. If you didn't know, Walt Disney World has been in a phased reopening process since July of 2020, and they have now let us in on just a little bit of how that has impacted them over the course of time. Certainly, park reservations are still a part of going to a place like Walt Disney World or Disneyland. You need a park reservation in addition to your park tickets in order to get into the theme parks. Well, Inside the Magic is reporting that throughout the year, we saw crowds begin to pick up, but it was still nothing than what we were used to in the pre-pandemic state. Now, thanks to the Orlando Sentinel, we know exactly how much of the business was affected in terms of how many guests visited the parks in 2020 and what kind of a decrease that was. Reportedly, Magic Kingdom had 7 million guests walk through the gates in 2020, which was a 67% decrease from 2019. That being said, even with a massive decrease, it was still the most visited theme park in the world. Interestingly enough, if we take a look at all of the rankings, Disney World did not take the top 4 spots, as Universal theme parks also dominated the game. They say that number 1 in theme park rankings for 2020 was Magic Kingdom. Number 2, Shanghai Disneyland. Number 3, Universal Studios Japan. Number 4, Chimelong Ocean Kingdom. Number 5, Disney's Animal Kingdom. Number 6, Tokyo Disneyland. Number 7, Universal Studios Florida. Number 8 was Epcot. And number 9, Universal Islands of Adventure. And number 10, OCT Happy Valley. That sounds like fun. Inside the Magic sharing with us that 70% of a decrease is what they saw since 2019. Naturally, as Walt Disney World was pretty much the only theme park environment for the most part that was open in the capacity that it was during most of 2020, or I guess the second half of 2020, people were still quite timid about even traveling, going anywhere really. Throughout much of 2020, it was a very unique time to say the least. I can't say that I'm surprised by the numbers necessarily, especially knowing that near 70% was the total decrease from 2019. But I know that they are definitely rebounding. We've seen, especially with the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary, a lot of uptick in attendance and people very interested in traveling again and getting back out there now that vaccines are readily available, and people just feeling a lot more comfortable traveling to begin with, period, and then in addition to that, going back to theme parks. So, Katrina, 70% lost capacity since 2019. When do you imagine we're going to see a full capacity slate? I think I remember Bob Chapek saying something along the lines of they wanted to see it by the end of this year. I haven't heard that recently. I heard that, I think 3 or 4 months ago we covered a story on it, but we haven't heard them talk about it recently.
Yeah, I feel like they don't want to scare people with oh, hey, we're at 100% capacity again. So I feel like they just kind of sweep it under the rug and just be oh, yes, we're being very careful. Mask when you go on the rides, that kind of stuff to get people oh, okay, it's safe. But then when you get in there, you're this is a lot. This is a lot of people. But again, I mean, this news article for me, again, I'm a pessimist, so they're making it sound very dramatic. 70%. I mean, it was 2020, so obviously they had to limit restrictions, and they barely just opened in 2020. They literally closed for 4 months. So it's gonna make it sound worse than what it was. I mean, they still made a profit once they started opening up, but they they didn't really make a profit. But they filled to capacity the way they should have been in 2020, because they that they reached those 15%, 30% capacity restrictions. And then this year they stopped saying what the capacity is and just let people in. And I want to see what the numbers are this year based off of 2019 to actually fully see the aspect, because 2020 is just kind of
it's a wash.
That's a wash. Of course, they're going to be lower restrictions or lower capacity, obviously. But so I want to see what the numbers are in 2021, because when we were there on the 1st at Magic Kingdom, they were at capacity.
Yeah, wall to wall.
It was very, very full. And I can imagine during the holidays, they're going to get a lot more people. And now that the borders just opened for people from like foreign countries to come into the United States again on November 8th, that is also going to add to it, because I've already had people in England message me saying like, we're coming. And like,
We've been waiting.
They're coming like the day after Thanksgiving. I'm like, oh God, good luck with that. But you know, they're coming, and I'm just like, that's what Disney World wants. I mean, yes, the capacity, like what they would see in 2019 during the summer with like, you know, the foreigners, like especially like Brazilians, you know, they would all come and during the summers and like the big groups and whatnot.
With
and,
their flags.
yeah. And
Their
so,
soccer balls.
yeah,
That's right.
that's why they have a Pele store in Disney Springs.
That's right.
So, I mean, but again, like they're gonna have enough capacity this year. I feel like they've, you know, they're gonna not be at where they were in 2019, but they're gonna be pretty high.
Definitely. I think
That makes
we're
sense.
marching much closer to the full capacity ranks that I know the Disney executive board probably wants to see Disney at. No doubt we are probably flirting with that out in Florida. Disneyland certainly seems like it has seen some big crowds join the theme park ranks here in recent months as well. In other news, the Walt Disney World Railroad, which many people have been wondering, where the heck is it? When is it coming back? BlogMickey.com reports that the Walt Disney World Railroad will be closed through at least early 2022, according to internal refurbishment calendars. The calendars work on a rolling 70-day schedule, so the Walt Disney World Railroad is currently listed as under refurbishment through early January 2022, but will likely be closed much longer than that. The railroad, which has been closed since early December 2018, passed the 1,000-day mark in late August, and Disney has not indicated when it might return. To support land clearing near the Tron Light Cycle Run roller coaster, Disney removed a portion of the railroad tracks between the Fantasyland Station and Space Mountain. Tron would even lead to the shortening of the nearby Tomorrowland Speedway route as well. Just a couple of weeks after the closure, Disney ripped up the railroad track scene along that route and started to expand the Tron Light Cycle Run construction site into Magic Kingdom. And Tron Light Cycle Run will hit 1,300 days of construction next month. So we're waiting for construction to finish up, and certainly waiting for an announcement as to when Tron Light Cycle Run will be officially opening over at Magic Kingdom. But in addition to that, since 2018, Tyler, we have been without the main that main railroad all the way around the park. Granted, there's less to look at than at Disneyland, but certainly losing that train at Magic Kingdom, that has been tough.
You're telling me that Magic Kingdom has a railroad?
Say what?
I don't know. I didn't even know
A
there
train
was such
goes
a thing
around
there.
it.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. That's crazy.
Thought it was
I
only
thought I
at
dreamt
Disneyland.
that. I thought I had a dream about it.
Oh, it probably was a dream.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe that it's taking so
I can't either.
long. It is ridiculous. And like, I remember when this was first happening, there were like all these grand rumors of like, oh, they're going to take the dinosaurs from Ellen's Energy Adventure and they're going to move them over to Magic Kingdom and they're going to make a diorama for the railroad. And I was like all excited. I was like, oh, this is going to be, I mean, if they do that, that'd be awesome. No, it turns out, you know, still close to like 4 or 5 years later, it's like still waiting for basically nothing to have changed. So here we are. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it besides just like it's wild. This is some wild stuff that this thing has been. Walt Disney would be pissed.
He would.
He would,
He
yeah.
loves his trains.
He would
I mean, the
not be
Disneyland
happy.
one got changed faster than this one,
Yeah. Well,
and they had to do like a new turn.
Yeah.
that's true. Turned what left for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Away
Yeah.
from Galaxy's Edge. Yeah.
As
Should be
as
natural.
as is a natural response.
Yeah. Trains and everybody else. They just keep
I
on
don't even
going.
remember the rail. I think we rode it together once, and then the next trip, that's when they closed it. And I was like, I don't even remember the train.
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah,
time. I mean, 2018 really puts it in perspective, and certainly my fondest memories of Magic Kingdom's train is the Magic Kingdom Welcome Show when all the characters used to arrive on the train on the platform. It was a big deal. Then they moved the Welcome Show to the Magic Kingdom Cinderella forecourt stage. They said for the sake of crowding and allowing more people to be able to see it.
fair.
Lost out though, I think, on a bit of that enchantment that you feel at the Magic Kingdom train station when you first walk in. So we'll always miss that, but Who knows, maybe early 2022. Definitely seeing, though, that refurbishment continues into next year, unfortunately. In some other news, there is a petition circulating that has gained a lot of steam in the past week that essentially calls for the firing of Disney CEO Bob Chapek. Change.org petition is out and about right now. Apparently, it has been out for a while, but only recently started to see a surge in interest as some powerful people started sharing the individual petition itself, and more people started to sign on the dotted line, now pushing into the upper 50,000 signature mark, and certainly on its way to being recognized as a Change.org petition of power. The petition, which was published a year ago, lays accusations that Chapek has consistently put himself and money above the product and quality of the company, as well as mentions that the 28,000 layoffs of Disney Parks cast members since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, just juxtaposed with the reinstatement of executive bonuses. The author also discusses poor maintenance at the parks, claiming that Chapek has put his attentions on Disney Plus as the current big moneymaker. And recently, WDW News Today continues with this story saying, recently we learned that his decision to relocate the vast majority of Walt Disney Imagineering to Lake Nona, Florida, has also caused a severe drop in morale, with many Imagineers choosing to leave the company than uproot the lives they built in California. Neither Disney nor Chapek has responded to the petition as of the writing of the article. Now, no doubt, Bob Chapek, Captain Charisma, as I like to call him, continues to be somebody that I don't think he's ever had really an outpouring of support from the Disney fan community. He's not the most likable guy in terms of presentation. He's a very hard he's not somebody that can stand on stage and make you go, wow, he's super engaging. He's just not good at it. And a lot of people aren't, I guess the credit of most people are afraid of public speaking. But he's the CEO of one of the biggest companies in the world. And now there is a petition calling for his firing. Now, I certainly don't think that a Change.org petition is going to do anything to get rid of the CEO of the Walt Disney Company, but certainly don't see too many of these things circulating for the sake of other CEOs in life. There seems to be a real passion behind getting rid of this guy. People very frustrated, very irritated with Bob Chapek as the CEO, and he hasn't been CEO that long, Tyler.
No, for whatever reason, and like all joking aside, because I know we joke around a lot about him, very often. Like, I don't know why I dislike him so much. Like, I don't know what to say about it other than I just look at him and he makes me mad, and and I don't know why. He hasn't done anything to hurt me.
It's like a Lex Luthor.
Like,
yep.
He's not even a Lex Luthor.
It's just
he
a
seems
bald
like
head. No one likes those people. They're bad guys.
Larry David
yeah,
knows.
it's like somebody tried to make a clone of Lex Luthor, and it came out and it was like not quite as good as the original, But anyway, I don't know, man. It made me upset when I started seeing these different Imagineers on Twitter and stuff just saying that, they got the call and they're saying, well, your job is moving to Florida. And they're like, well, I can't move to Florida because I have my family out here doing, my wife is doing this, my husband is doing this, whatever. And it's just upsetting to see people getting torn apart like that, and all just so they can save, a few bucks here and there. Because we all know that's exactly what they're trying to do, just like save money rather than, because California is expensive. I get it, but it's just... man, could you imagine? I just you're just treating the people that come up with the ideas so poorly. Like, it's just wild to me. And maybe that's why I don't like Bob Chapek, because he makes decisions like this. But
perhaps that's it.
Yeah, it's just good riddance, Bob. Like, you're right. I don't think this. Why am I blanking on the name?
Change.org.
I don't think this Change.org is going to change anything, but I sure wish it would, because, man, that guy, I just don't like him.
That guy.
Naturally, when you think back on the position itself over the course of history, I mean, nobody's Walt Disney, nobody's ever been Walt Disney, and We've seen a lot of CEOs come and go over the course of time at the Disney company, Bob Iger being one that, for the most part, seems celebrated, for the most part, seems really admired and respected. Michael Eisner before him, certainly celebrated to a degree towards the end. We watched as he kind of fell apart as Frank Wells, the president of the Walt Disney Company, passed away in a freak accident, and Michael kind of like lost his mind. And I spoke at length about this earlier this week on Disney News Talk Live, where we spoke with our viewers about, how are you feeling when it comes to price hikes and stuff like that. And it kind of went down the road of, where are the Disney family members? Are they happy with the direction of where the company's going? And that led to a discussion of there are none involved in the company anymore. The last one was Roy, the nephew. Roy Disney led the ouster of Michael Eisner, led a shareholder revolt in the early 2000s against Michael Eisner to remove him from power. After all Michael did a lot of amazing things to expand Disney and make Disney the powerhouse that we even know it as today. Michael kind of lost his mind there towards the end, and that led to Roy resigning his position on the board and leading the shareholders in revolt against Michael Eisner. It was very Shakespearean. And then ultimately that led to the rise of Bob Iger. And fast forward, there have been a lot of contenders of people who were going to be named CEO over the course of the last 10 years that all fell for some reason in the process. The Hollywood Reporter came out with a story here not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, that was fascinating to read, that discussed a lot of those people and why they didn't work out, Tom Staggs being one of the most recent. And it sort of alluded to the fact that Bob Chapek may have had something to do with sabotaging Tom Staggs in becoming CEO, which everybody thought that guy was the heir apparent and was going to easily move on into the position. It didn't go into much detail after that, but it alludes to the fact that Chapek may have had something to do with it. If that's true, my God.
That is Shakespearean.
Yeah, I mean, the top ranks of this company, they deal with an awful lot, and now we're dealing with a change.org petition for Bob Chapek.
I mean, I don't think the change.org thing is going to do anything. I feel like a lot of people like petitions right now, and like a lot of them don't really follow through. But when some that actually Disney have noticed, like they actually change stuff very quickly, which I like. But I mean, he needs to go. We all don't like Bob Chapek. But also he's not the only bad guy. And I hate to say it because there's other people that have yes, he is like the face, the head of the other, the places. But you also need to look at who's the head of the parks, who's the head of,
Daddy Tomorrow.
Yep. And who's the head of merchandise, who's the head of, whatever production company, who's what, they all have to talk to each other. It's not just him just saying, you know what, we're going to do this. You know what, we're going to do this. I'm sure they brought him ideas and then he's like, no, let's just do this. And let's do this. But I mean, when you're the face of something, you kind of have to embrace it. Yeah. And so he's losing sight of what Walt Disney wanted, I feel like. I mean, Walt Disney was the dreamer. Roy was the go-getter with the money and stuff. And that's why Michael Eisner and Wells were such a great team, because there was the dreamer and the money man. Yep. And Chapek needs a dreamer. Mm-hmm. He's the money man, obviously, and he's ruining it. He's losing the product and the quality of what Disney is, and that's why these very passionate Disney goers hate him, and that's why I don't like him, is because he just cheapens things and just makes, hey, we're gonna build this ride and then we're gonna copy cookie cutter and put it over on this area instead of creating something completely new so people want to visit both parks. Because now people are like, well, why would I want to visit this park when I can just do the same thing over
I can do it everywhere. And I'll tell you, I think what it comes down to for me is you can't fake passion, and you can't fake commitment, and you can't fake heart when it comes to a product. And it might boil down to the fact that he's not a good presenter. It might boil down to the fact that he can't get his point across very well. There lacks a bit of heart when it comes to listening to him and the product itself. Jay Rizzullo, who was also tapped for the Disney CEO-ship, who at one point was Parks chairman, much the same way, acted very similar to Bob Chapek. And I thought, God, I hope that guy, he even as Parks and Resorts chairman, he was not a likable figure. He was somebody that many people shied away from. He had to have cameras following him if he ever did visit a theme park to prove that he was there. It was very clear and transparent the kind of person that he was, at least to outsiders. Now you move along and we have somebody like that as CEO of the company, and it creates a bit of tension, that's for sure. So you let us know in the comment section. You want to sign the change.org petition? You think that might do anything? Or are you more primed to see that train return at Magic Kingdom? We want to hear from you. Let us know in the comment section. As always, your perspective does matter. All right, my friends, let's keep that fun rolling with the Disney list. Disney list time. Taking a look at some of the best and the worst of the Disney theme parks from coast to coast. Today, it's all about Disneyland and the challenges when it comes to visiting the Disneyland Resort right now. It isn't all peaches, rainbows, sunshine, and Dole Whips, my friends. No. There are challenges when it comes to visiting a place like the happiest place on Earth right now. And Tyler Crouch and Katrina Manzone are here to share a few of the challenges that they recognize come along with visiting the original Magic Kingdom. Tyler, let's start with you. What do you think? Challenges, Disneyland, what's standing in the way of people living their best Disneyland life?
Well, I mean, obviously things have been changing a lot recently with the new keys and just the reservation system and all those fun things that have been happening. So it's a brand new kind of landscape to go over all this new stuff. And so just some of the things for me that have been kind of a pain. Number one, getting dining reservations has been rough, and I don't know if it's because they are trying to just keep more walk-ups open, or because they're having issues with staffing, or what the issue is exactly. But it's just like, I feel like the only place that ever has dining availability, regularly is like Riverbell Terrace, and other than that, good luck. I mean, you kind of have to jump on like 60 days beforehand and get in there and get your dining reservations. And the part that really is difficult is you have to have a park reservation on the same day you have your dining reservation. So you kind of just have to, we even were talking about this last week a little bit. So you kind of just have to grab as many reservations. Like if you see a reservation, just like grab it and say, oh, I hope I can get there that day. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And so it's just making it really hard to get a dining reservation. So that's my number one. Keep your eye on the lookout for those reservations because they go quick.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. And my second kind of blunder, I guess, is like mobile order in general. I guess like mobile order is still good. I know it has its uses, and I still do use it, and when it works well, and I love it. But I think that it works well for me because I know what I'm doing, and I go to Disney like every weekend at least. But when I think about people who are going there not on a regular basis, or that don't really know that much about, what they have to do to have a fun day, I could see people going there, not getting a mobile order, being starving. Oh, okay, it's lunchtime, let's go eat. Not getting a mobile order, going to Casino Cucamonga or something, for example, seeing that there's one register there for a line of 30 people. And because you didn't get your mobile order 2 or 3 hours earlier, you have to go and wait in that line. It's like, so I just think that the mobile order, it's good, but I guess maybe it's not the mobile order so much that I dislike as much as there needs to be both mobile order and cash registers. I don't think that mobile order should necessarily replace all the cash registers. So I think that's kind of where they're still trying to figure that out. So hopefully they figure that out soon. But my last thing here, number 3, I don't know why I said 3 so funny like that.
That's very poetic, the way in which you said it. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. I appreciate that. Is the lack of spontaneity. It used to just be like, oh, hey, maybe we'll just go later this afternoon, or even just what should we do today? I don't know. Let's just go to Disneyland. you can't do that sort of thing anymore for the most part. I mean, maybe on a weekday or something you can get away with it, but you know, the times of just kind of saying, what should we do? Oh, let's just go to Disneyland for fun. And like, that doesn't really happen anymore. And that's, you know, I think that's kind of my biggest sadness through all the COVID stuff and everything, is just how they've kind of killed a certain amount of culture.
It's definitely a different
to,
place.
Yeah. Like when it comes to like just the Disneyland experience, like you cannot, it feels like, and it's getting better, but it used to feel like you could just go there for like a few hours and like it was a successful day of just goofing off, and you didn't even go on a ride or anything, but
walk around,
maybe you
enjoy
just
the
like
scenery.
goofed off and just did something for a few hours and had some food and whatever. And now it just feels like you're losing something if you do that. Now it feels like you have to like be efficient with your time and like do as much as you can, and like it's getting better, like I said, now that like the magic keys are here and everything. Like it doesn't feel so much like that, but especially in the beginning before any annual passes were back, it was just like, oh well, we better do everything we can because we spent, you know, money on these tickets. So anyway, the lack of spontaneity is a big sadness.
Yeah. Well, and it ties in with the dining too, though, because like
Right.
now, if we plan on going, we have to make sure we have a reservation, and then if you don't have a dining reservation, good luck having a walk up available, and like you have to do mobile order, and there's no like walk up anymore for the bar, like for Carthay Circle or the Magic Key Terrace. There's no like standby line anymore. It's like you go and it's like, okay, if you don't have a reservation,
Good luck.
Good luck.
Mhm.
Okay, have fun.
I guess now that I look at all my things too, they all kind of really do tie together. Like it's all kind of like spontaneity just being ripped away from us. But you know, Bob Chapek tells me I have more choices than ever. So
He's listened to you.
so I mean,
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
Lord.
You've been listened to.
Yeah.
Any challenges you face, Katrina?
I agree with him on the dining. I mean, that kind of like goes hand in hand with like the spontaneity of that. Like that actually is a really good word to put towards it. Like the virtual queue is also like a problem in a way, because again, like a lot of people haven't really been here in like the last couple years, right? When Galaxy's Edge was, you know, the first, you know, virtual queue type thing. And, you know, like the people that they want to buy like the 1-2 day tickets are the people that haven't been for like a couple years, 3 years, and they don't know what a virtual queue is. And on top of that, they made more of a confusion with web slingers, because they're like, there may not be a virtual queue on that day, so you have to just kind of go at 7 a.m. and see if it's available.
And maybe at 5 p.m. it suddenly doesn't have a need anymore, and it's standby.
Maybe, yeah, and then who knows? And it's just kind of like, oh, okay, so if I bought a park hopper and I chose DCA for the first part of the day, and now there isn't a virtual queue for web slingers at 7 a.m., I can't go get Rise of the Resistance at 7 a.m., so now I just lost out, and I have to wait in line for web slingers, and then pray at noon I'm able to get like Rise of the Resistance, because so that like whole confusion where they're like, we may not have a virtual queue is kind of like, well, and then on top of that, like their capacity, they don't say what the capacity is for Disneyland or DCA, and so on top of that, it kind of goes with like, I mean, with like the parking on top of that, like there's no transportation to take you from the parking garage to the parks. And so a lot of people don't understand like how long of a walk that is. And I get very angry and I get very upset when I see comments from Disney when people say like, I have a walking issue, I cannot walk for a certain amount of time. I showed up at the parking garage at, you know, park open, and they already didn't have any ECVs or they didn't have any wheelchairs. How am I supposed to get to the park if I can't walk that far? And their response is we have benches you can sit in and relax for a little bit until you're able to walk again.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Like that has I got so mad and fired up about it, because again, they're losing the Disney touch. Like at least have some kind of van or some, I get it's like an enclosed area.
They're
so
doing it with the Toy Story
they
lot.
can't. Yeah, like
So
I
don't tell me you can't do it
understand.
with Mickey and Friends. You have Toy Story parking lot shuttles, buses. You're packing people in. There's no distancing on these buses or anything like that. So that excuse goes out the window. And they've been doing it for months over at the Toy Story lot. So you can't say that this is something you can't do at Mickey and Friends parking structure.
Right. And it also, on top of that, I get it. The people are walking in the roadway where the bus would be or something, right? If you have to, close a piece down and then make sure it's like enough for like a little golf cart to fit in or something. Because again, I get it. Disney's worried.
There's two lanes.
Yeah, like maybe Disney's worried about people abusing it and saying like, oh no, I just don't want to walk. Oh no, I have a hurt leg. And like, and I get it. People will abuse it and just not want to do it or whatever. But I feel like for people that if you're wanting to buy a wheelchair and you don't have any available at the parking garage, you need to figure something out and get them to the park.
Yeah.
And not be like, there's benches, you can just chill out, whatever. And that's one thing that I really don't like. So if you cannot walk a long distance, maybe either buy your own wheelchair, bring your own ECV if you have to, or you have to show up really early and just pray you were able to get those two. But it's just like, I mean, I read a story from a lady that when they said, no, we don't have any wheelchairs available. And so someone actually had to leave the parking garage, take her to the front, drop her off, and then go back into the parking garage again so she could
quite a process,
get there. And then 2 hours later, they got a phone call saying we have an ECV available.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, great. But again, like that's, so again, if you're visiting and you haven't visited in a while, that's like it's a very long walk. I mean, it takes us and we walk at a fast pace. It takes us about like 15, 20 minutes to get through leaving the car, going through security, and then walking to the gate of Disneyland.
Yeah.
It takes us about 20 minutes and we walk.
I've recorded it on my watch, and when you do the round trip, it is like literally an extra mile on your day. So it's not a small amount. It's
and it's a heck of a walk on the way back when you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I can imagine like little kids being like, "This is a very long journey. What is
Pick me
happening?"
up.
Yeah, and they're like, "No,
Hold me.
absolutely not." So yeah,
Hold
those are my things.
Awesome. Well, you let us know. What are some of the challenges you are facing when it comes to visiting the Disneyland Resort? Have you been recently? And what have you faced? We're very interested in hearing the list. Certainly, it's not going to reflect everything that we've experienced because everybody's experience is unique. So leave it in our comments section. We always love to hear from you. More Kingdom Report Live for you straight ahead.
Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit KingdomReportLive.com. And now, back to the magic.
That about wraps things up for us here for another Kingdom Report Live. Tyler, Katrina, any Halloween plans? Any last notes?
Christmas decorations.
Coming soon.
No, nothing. I mean, we're going to just chill for Halloween, I think. But I just wanted to give a special little shout out to my buddy Tiki Andy out there, who's always in the chat. Oh, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Tiki Andy. Love you, buddy. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Go eat those Krispy Kremes.
Oh.
And
Put the word in to try to get the pin.
Turning 52 years old this week. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Andy.
52. Look,
Whoa.
Never
he's
looked
great.
better.
He's looked great for 52.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be the potassium. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I always say.
yeah, no doubt about it. Happy birthday, Tiki Andy, and thank you always for contributing in our live chat during our broadcast. It means a lot. And for all of you that like to watch and win, we'd like to reward you. Make sure that you are leaving the comment underneath this live video on our YouTube channel, The Kingdom Report on YouTube. You have until Monday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time, in which to leave the comment with the phrase that pays, Disney World Party. Disney World Party will get you a limited release Walt Disney World 50th Anniversary collector pin. That's right, Disney World Party is the comment you leave underneath this very video. As soon as the live video posts, you can leave that comment underneath, and we will enter you to win your very own 50th anniversary limited release pin. We'll reach out to you if you are the winner, and I wish you so much luck. Happy Halloween. May it be a safe one. We will see you here next week. And remember, the legacy of Walt Disney, well, it lives on because of people like you and me. We'll see you next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific for an all-new Kingdom Report Live.